Joining us now, one of the reporters who helped break this story, MSNBC senior investigative reporter Carol Leonnig. Also with us, Greg Brower, former U.S. attorney and former deputy general counsel at the FBI, and Michael Feinberg, former FBI special agent in charge. Carol, what more do we know about this potential indictment? What charges could be included? And how's this all playing out behind the scenes at the DOJ?
Well, as you know, there's a lot of tension inside the Eastern District of Virginia and the prosecutor's office there, one of the most important ones in the country after New York and Washington, and it handles a ton of national security cases. Right now, it's on tenterhooks because there have been a lot of concerns about Eric Siebert basically being pressured to either resign or be fired over this handling of the Comey case, and also primarily over his finding that there was no reason to go after another Trump enemy, which was Letitia James. There was not sufficient evidence to bring a mortgage fraud case, he concluded, so he basically got the curb treatment. Goodbye, see you later. Now, inside the office, we have been hearing for the last 24 hours that there is a race to bring a grand jury indictment against Mr. Comey, who is probably one of Donald Trump's #1 retribution targets in the country. The statute of limitations, as you rightly note, is ending in the next couple of days, and that is why the pressure is on to bring this case. The question is, who is going to present this to the grand jury, and will this happen this week?
What specifically is the allegation against him, and what do we know about the evidence?
Our sources, Anna, have said that there are 2 threads to the investigation against Mr. Comey. And let me be clear, we know this from talking to lawyers and witnesses who might be actually asked questions about this or other people briefed on the case. And what we are hearing is that they are considering charging him with lying to Congress in his September 2020 testimony. One of the elements has to do with whether or not he ever authorized a leak to the media involving the Trump administration or the Clinton Foundation. And another one has to do with his handling of classified information. We really don't have more specifics than that, but we are hunting them as we speak.
And Michael, as mentioned, this all comes just days after a new U.S. attorney of the Eastern District of Virginia was sworn in. She served on President Trump's legal team for the Mar-a-Lago documents case. Lindsay Halligan, no experience as a prosecutor. How could this shape the case?
This is going to be interesting because according to the reporting that we've all seen, there is actually documentary evidence that EDVA officials, from line assistant U.S. attorneys all the way up to the U.S. attorney himself, Eric Siebert, did not think that there was enough evidence to bring this case forward to a grand jury. So Lindsay Halligan is now playing a bit of a dangerous game by wagering her entire career on her ability to see this over the finish line. That recklessness may be partly influenced by the fact that this is something she's never done before. As you mentioned, she's an insurance lawyer. She has not presented to a grand jury. She has not prosecuted a criminal case. She has not dealt with the Department of Justice headquarters oversight bodies that normally smooth the way for these things. I don't see smooth sailing on this matter ahead for EDVA or the Justice Department writ large with Lindsay Halligan handling it.
So, Greg, the timing of all this, a brand new top prosecutor in this district, a social media post from the president essentially telling the Justice Department to go forward with charges against these political foes of his. Yet the statute of limitations almost up in this particular case involving Comey. Is this a perfect storm? How do you see it?
Yeah, well, Anna, this is the kind of thing that I don't think we've ever seen in our history before. As Carol and Michael have articulated, we have what appears to be a clearly political prosecution in the works here between the president's own comments over a long period of time, including most significantly this past weekend, the firing of the Trump U.S. attorney in the district, who apparently didn't think there was enough evidence. And then, as was mentioned, the installation of a political partisan with no DOJ experience to, in effect, do the job. This, I think, is shaping up to be one of those situations where most people, whether average Americans, insiders, potential grand jurors, are all looking at this and wondering what's really going on here. This doesn't make sense. There doesn't seem to be any there in terms of criminal conduct. And then the surrounding rhetoric and last-minute machinations by the White House would suggest that they have an end result in mind, but without any real substance to support that. Grand juries typically will follow the lead of prosecutors, but I think increasingly we're seeing evidence around the country where grand jurors are sort of tuned into the fact that some prosecutions coming their way are political in nature. They're not based on evidence and legal rationale. And this may be one of those types of efforts by DOJ that just doesn't smell right to a grand jury and as a result is unsuccessful.
Yeah, so obviously the prosecutors can't just automatically apply charges in this case. They would have to present the case to a grand jury, right? And if this grand jury fails to indict Comey before Tuesday, Greg, is that the end of the road?
Most likely, and you're right, Anna. We're talking about a grand jury of 23 ordinary citizens, a majority of whom need to be convinced that there's actually probable cause to believe that the potential defendant actually did commit a crime. Again, it's typically not much of a challenge for department lawyers because, and this is important, because department lawyers almost never bring a case to the grand jury that they don't believe, that the prosecutors don't believe includes enough evidence to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So this type of effort whereby prosecutors are potentially throwing some stuff up against the wall, hoping to convince 12 out of 23 grand jurors to indict is really not the norm at all. And I think, again, recent examples suggest that a grand jury is just not going to buy this, but we'll see.
Michael, if Halligan's predecessor resigned, Eric Siebert, because he wouldn't bring charges against Comey or Trump's other perceived political foes, does this suggest there could be new evidence?
I don't think so. The sort of investigation that has been rumored to be going on in terms of investigating a very high-ranking former government official for allegedly misrepresenting facts to Congress is not the sort of thing you can whip up overnight. And with the statute of limitations running as quickly as it is, we need to remember this is something that occurred in 2020. If there was evidence to be discovered, it would have been discovered by now. You know, the alleged conduct occurred at the end of the first Trump administration. There was an intervening administration with a very above-board Department of Justice that could have looked at this. And now it's been a few months into the second Trump administration. I do not see a Perry Mason moment where at the last minute they've discovered somebody who can shed light on events that took place in public and 5 years ago.
Carol, you touched on this, but Comey was one of several targeted in the president's social media post addressed to Pam Bondi over the weekend. He also named Senator Adam Schiff and New York AG Letitia James, calling them, quote, guilty as hell. How is this playing out in the Justice Department, and where do things stand with the other investigations, particularly that one into Letitia James, which is also being handled by the Eastern District of Virginia?
Well, great questions, Anna. There's like 4 questions in there, but I'll try.
Forgive me. There's just so much to talk about. So many layers to this story.
I agree. And there is so much to report on. Let's be honest. I think that the fact that we here are learning and embracing for the possibility that Comey is presented for indictment today or tomorrow, because we are preparing for that, we have not spent as much energy. We've turned ourselves away from what is going on with the Letitia James piece because we are not hearing as much active about that. That probably has to do with the statute of limitations, let's be clear. But I want to underline something about what you flashed on the screen. Donald Trump's tweets in his first term, calling on his attorney generals then, Jeff Sessions and Bill Barr, to indict, prosecute, somehow punish his enemies, some of whom are the same in the list. That caused his attorney generals to tell him to back off. Bill Barr told him, as privately told him, Mr. President, if you keep tweeting, if you keep telling me who we have to prosecute, those cases are done. That's never going to happen, even if there's evidence. I'm paraphrasing Bill Barr, by the way, there. Now, that statement, those public exhortations, if you will, from Donald Trump are causing a roiling of anxiety inside the Justice Department from Maine to California. People that I've spoken to find this so debilitating to their work. They are used to political-free prosecution. Nobody at the top telling them what to do, nobody at the top blocking them. Definitely political supervisors asking for briefings and demanding to know the information before you go forward with a prosecution of a high-profile target. But this is brand new. This is new territory. And, you know, word to Donald Trump, when you tweet like this, you are harming your case if there is a case.
It could be used as evidence in a defense to say this is clearly a politically motivated investigation and indictment. Carol Leonnig, Greg Brower, Michael Feinberg, you are all so brilliant. Thanks for being with us.